Today I am going to do something different. I've already remade my first game, Bat, which was called Bat Attack. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you. I started out, when I started out in game design, I started out in Scratch. I started out with Scratch. I follow FunNut every now and then. Yeah, that's very generic. He has all these stuff. I followed some of his tutorials and I actually made my first game. I'm gonna be going through my Scratch collection actually. I want to remake one of my games, but I want to know which one. So let's see. These are all pretty basic. And none of them ever really had that many plays. So let's go through each. Alright, Fuel Me. Let's see what this one was. Alright, so let's bring that up. This one was never released and it was never playable. Let's see what it was. Husky 10. Insert coin. This one, oh my gosh. And there was just a lot going on screen. You're supposed to collect fuel. Let's see if we can get a higher score. I only got 3 things to fuel. Why this is so bad. This is so bad, but you gotta start somewhere. You can collect get it so you have unlimited lives. Ooh. I forgot what the fuel ones were for. I think that was 10. Oh, that's mean. And I lost a life. You had bombs everywhere. This was made following a book tutorial. I found this book that was made for children, and this is what got me into game design, was learning to code in Scratch. I have 48 fuel. What happens if you reach 100? Oh man, I hate this game. So my plan is to choose one of these games and remake it. Maybe I'll make this one and put it on Newgrounds and call it Fuel Me. But there's already a game that apparently exists, and I got 82 fuel. Was there anything that was supposed to happen? Oh, there was another. Okay. See inside. Alright, it looks like there really wasn't anything. There wasn't much. You had bombs, asteroids. I did not really know much about code organization or sprite organization. It's kind of cool to see how far it came from using something like this to using something like Construct 3. and making better games in there. Some of you might disagree that they're better, but hey, as long as I like it, I like it. So let's go to the next one. This one. Let's see what this one was. It says Untitled 2. So I think this was my very last project. I never did anything. When space key pressed, we wanna move 10 steps. Alright, so yeah, there's not much I can do. It's been a real long time since I've done it. If touching edge, let's say we want it to stop all. Alright. And let's go here. When touching this, we want to change the position. Go to here. Yeah, we made a little program here. Again, there was nothing much to show there. Leave. Again, this is where I started. I made 2 games like this where all you do is collect bananas or apples. I kind of hated Scratch because it was kind of limiting, and B, it didn't often work correctly. Like this one. Yeah, I don't remember. Let's see what that does. Seven. Alright, yeah, this one didn't really work. The point was you were supposed to go around and collect bananas that spawned on the top of the screen. Not much here. Sorry that one didn't work. I thought it did. It's been a long time since I've been on my Scratch. This one, failed. I don't know what I did, but it's supposed to be a platformer, and the more I did it, worked on it, the less it worked. Yeah, I have no clue what the hell happened. I really wanted to play a platformer, make a platformer. This was before I found GDevelop, and I thought Scratch was my answer until I worked on GDevelop, and until I did my research and decided which one was better, a no-code engine. So yeah, this one is called Striker the Bat. You press space, it's pretty much a Flappy Bird clone. Yeah, it's a Flappy Bird clone, not much to say about it. I really wanted to make a Flappy Bird clone, and I really wanted to make a mascot, so I made Striker the Bat, the image I got from Pixabay. This thing wouldn't work if I put a menu on it, and usually my thing is I put instructions on menus. But yeah, and I want to check something. Okay, for some reason my computer's running slow. Okay. Let's keep going. I really want to make a Flappy Birds game. I really wanted to make a Flappy Bird game. I really wanted to make a mascot, and I thought Striker Bat would be it. But I eventually made a robot, and he appears in a standalone game called Detour. Detour and Zombie Down, you might not know, are connected. And there was planned to be a sequel, but that fell through. So let's go back to my stuff. I got 5 unshared projects. What does this do? I have a studio. I have 5 unshared projects. Yeah, I never liked sharing stuff because, as you can see, not much activity happened. The next one was, next 2 are Christmas ones I made for a friend. This one's called Christmas Attack. So we press play. This one was my first Christmas one. It was just a simple shooter. But the problem with shooters like this, all you had to do was just stay in one area and shoot. The music I made sure was public domain. Here's one little thing. I never fully got away from Scratch. I still have it on my computer. And it came standard with Raspberry Pi at the time, and when I would mess with Raspberry Pi, I would use Scratch. Yeah, Scratch, the problem with Scratch for me wasn't a full game engine, so I never was able to do anything out of it.
She died.
No, she's still here. What are you doing?
Nothing came for me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's a little bit of left too.
Is this Dark Knight?
So, not much to see here. I really liked making shooters. This one's called Collecting Presents. You avoid ice and cold while collecting presents. Each present gives you a different score or new life. Let's see how it went. So let's see how it went. Here we go. Again, this game was glitchy. Then again, anything made in Scratch, in my opinion, is glitchy, which is why I migrated from Scratch to an actual drag and drop visual scripting game engine like Construct 3 or GDevelop.
Well, this is not CD. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I thought I added music to this, but no. you're starting to see this one was called Collecting Apples. It's similar to the Collecting Banana one, but unlike that one, I think this one actually works. So I tried using apples for the original game, but apples wouldn't delete when they got to the bottom of the screen.
You ever heard of her?
This one was just a simple high score.
I was watching it. I didn't make it all the way.
Looking back at all,
It was such a weird movie, but it's such a weird movie.
looking back at all these games kind of makes me wonder if I actually advanced. But I think my games look a lot better since I'm using actual game engines. At least in my opinion. I tried to do a Scratch tutorial, but they weren't as popular as my GDevelop. Yeah, not much to do. This was when I was learning about how to make things spawn from the top of the screen. So let's go back. Alright, what else? Flappy Bird tests. This one was a prototype. It looks better than the actual version.
Okay.
I guess the reason he does like the licking in the movie is because of Frostbite.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a tutorial on this, I don't know. I'm not really looking to go back to Scratch. The next one I want to go to is actually my second game ever, my second video game ever, called Space Fighter.
Oh, yeah, very poor choice.
So this one was my second game ever. It was supposed to be hand drawn. Instead everything's made in Pivot and edited in their everything's edited in the editor. I really liked this game. I worked really hard on this one. So let's see. Press play. It shows your high score, your last high score. I think there was supposed we took out sound for some of the stuff because it would crash or not work correctly, so we had to do that. This was also an experiment in mixed media. It was supposed to be hand drawn. It was originally going to be called Sketch Wars and have paper sound effects.
Oh, you know what he does in his free time? Where's mine? He rents this garage here to 90s music videos.
Who does?
It's a joke. Look at if you watch a lot of the music videos from the 90s, it looks exactly like this.
Oh.
And there we go. This was an actual photo of the moon. I found on archive.org, but
I started watching Joker.
anyway, that's
And then
Space Shooter. But my very first
it didn't
game
work for me. Maybe something bad.
was Bat Attack. I followed a
David
YouTube.
said that Joaquin Phoenix was
He got
the
Oscars.
best Joker up until Heath Ledger.
No. He was after Heath Ledger.
Oh, he was there.
Heath Ledger died after this film.
That's right. He was making the
So
imaginary
I was trying to.
Mr.
He was making something,
Kansas or
and
something.
he died halfway through. He committed suicide.
Yeah.
I
This-
guess everybody that's played the Joker before told him that.
This one was
I guess he
the first one I used to follow a tutorial. I will leave a link in the description for what tutorial. Oh, if I go to YouTube, I use tutorial called Hacking Tons. Space Invaders tutorials. See, and then you got Space Invaders, and they showed you how to make Space Invaders. I'm not gonna show the video. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. I'm waiting for my current game to get done. To get out of the judgment view to see how it's doing on Newgrounds, see if I should keep updating it. Let's see. Nope, it's still under judgment. But anyway, this was my very first game. This is my very first game with graphics. Not my first game. I tried to make a remastered version, but that one kind of fell through because I was spending too much work on it. But yeah. See, it's very easy with these types of games. It's very easy to do this and not die and increase your score, but I like moving around, so and there you go. And that's pretty much my entire.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
This is where I started. As you can tell, they didn't do very well. Because I didn't spend a lot of time on a platform, I quickly went and did research, and I found GDevelop. And I found GDevelop. Why is what is it? What? Oh, you can now sign in and all that. Here you can get achievements. You can decide on your. Apparently, I'm subscribed to GDevelop Pro. But yeah, for a total of my game experience, I've went from scratch, where I started making games here. I went to GDevelop and stayed with them for about a year and made quite a few games. The first prototype for Battle World was made in GDevelop, and then I got fed up with GDevelop. Yeah, this was also what Circle Mayhem was going to be made in, but I kept having problems with this. You see, the problem was if you put too many enemies in a certain area,
Most of it. Most of it. We didn't see. We didn't see once Queenstown.
see, they start to push each other out of the barrier.
Okay, so let's make that some
And it's very easy for that to do it, but the same premise was there.
Massive scars on his cheeks. In your
I have an archive of my very first games.
How can you mistake that?
Let me see if I can find them. But I went from GDevelop to eventually Construct 3, which in my opinion works a lot better than GDevelop. Construct 3 is web-based, you can use it anywhere, and it's easy, and it's not that glitchy to work in. I like the environment. It's easier to do animations than it is for GDevelop. For instance, I can do that. It's a lot easier to animate and make stuff. I'm currently working on this one. If you like it, please consider playing it. Link will be in the description. But I like Construct 3 a hell of a lot better because some of the glitches in GDevelop just went away. So I would suggest Construct 3 to people. I am currently trying to learn a new one. If you can spot it on my desktop, yes, I am trying to learn Game Maker and eventually move to that, because yes, I would suggest Construct 3, but I kind of want to use something a little more powerful.
Yeah, the other guy is.
Hey, baby. Are you okay? You were so good today. Such a good girl. Yes. Such a good girl.
I also have Godot,
I was so proud of you.
and I have no clue how to use it. I tried making this, whatever this is, but this was my free answer to Unreal, but I could not get a hang of it. I'm not that coded oriented. But let's look at some more games that I made. Homemade games. Yeah, all these. This one was a Linux file. Yeah, I can't play that. Asteroid Sweeper was an Android. Avoidance. This one was not browser based like it eventually went to. You had to install it like a lot of these. This one was made in about 20 minutes, so the graphics aren't great and the gameplay isn't the best. Let's see. I also never named my projects, but let's see. See, they would come. You would collect coins. This was one I was trying to learn GDevelop. I wasn't necessarily fluent in it. I was still following tutorials and making simple games. You gotta start somewhere. So learn all you can and make simple games. A lot of these were GDevelop games. There was a lot of these games. But this one, like I said, I released. It was the reason I went to GDevelop. This was also when I was with Scratch, and Scratch just wasn't cutting it for me, so I went to GDevelop. If it'll load. Thing I also hate about GDevelop is when you install something, it replaces your previous install. Yeah, this was also my first platformer. And my first time experimenting with music before I learned Sonic Pi existed. Yeah, that's right. Maybe I'll find the original version and put it up. Yeah, maybe I'll find the original file. This was also before I figured out how to make this was also before I figured out how to make how I made a limit on weapons. And after this game, I tried to this was a reference to Pong. Yeah, that seemed out of place. But this was before I learned how to make limits and all this stuff. You can get this on itch if you want. But this was when I was just learning. But let's get out of this. Okay, I've touched some GDevelop games and Scratch games. Let's go to Newgrounds because all of my all of my Construct 3 games are playing browser. So let's look at my first Construct 3 and see how that one went. Alright, so this one was kind of cool. The theme was connected or something like that. This was for Game Jam. And if you destroy all ships, when you lose all ships, you lose the game. But let's go to another one. This one was my second one. It was a simple Pong game, and this one almost broke 200 views. Huh. but it's a simple
I
breakout
think he
clone.
did pretty good in Valiant versus.
This was before I learned you had to remap if you were exporting the browser because
That's not
the arrow keys will mess up your screen.
No. But I liked him as Alfred. I think the only real good casting that they did right in What
but
is
I
it?
did tell you.
This one was just an extremely simple game to learn the engine and get a little more familiarized. Plus, with my first game in Construct 3, I never fully explored it, and this one was kind of doing that. Let's see what else.
Oh.
Alright, this one was highly rated. Ooh. Had a high. So.
That's not why we're demanding he turn himself in. We're doing it because we're scared. We've been happy to let the Batman clean up our streets until now. Things are worse than ever. Yes, they are. The night is dark just before the dawn.
The best thing about Construct 3 was I was able to export a lot of code from Construct 3 and from GDevelop and translate it to Construct 3. It was easy to get lost, and this game I don't know if I'm gonna finish. And this prototype thing had no
Somebody says he's the
and
Batman.
had no it had no ending. This was just to kind of show people, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I can do.
Perhaps both Bruce and his death believe that Batman stands for something more. And the wins are temperance restores, even if everyone hates him for it. That's his sacrifice.
She doesn't look like the villain.
Last I left this game, there were like 10 bottles.
She's cute. Cute. Get her. Yeah. Oh, you just love this scratch.
Yeah, not much to see here. I do want to continue this game. Then you got things. I learned how to update and maintain a game, and that was what Circle Mayhem was. The 5th version was highly rated for some reason, even though it was broken. I am suggesting people take the game and go find the original, the parts, the versions 4 and all that, and play from there. Because this game was broken. I want to make a sequel to this, but to keep, okay, you might have noticed I skipped a game.
Are you dense or are you?
And it was frogged. People really hated this game. This one was made in 10 minutes. It was made of a random chance kind of game where I would spin a wheel, random elements would be drawn from that wheel, and you would get this game. I'm still trying to figure out what to make next, but currently right now I'm making Cloudmaker, so let's continue, let's play this game. It was a simple jumping game with an angry frog.
And you wait like everybody else, back. The hell is that? Obstruction ahead, obstruction ahead.
Yeah, you got a lot of people who said
I repeat, exit down.
turkeys on Thanksgiving down there. Why didn't they just go in the other way?
It still looks bad, and this guy had translated it, and I don't know what to take, how to take this guy's comment. Let's see, translate. I don't know how to take this guy's comment. His comment was, "This is always just as bad but entertaining." Yeah. It was after that I took a long break. I took a break for about a few years. I mean, for about a few months. And decided not to touch game development, and that's when I got to decide how to release Circle Mayhem, or how to make it. And it eventually became a highly rated game that I have. I'm still trying to see if I can make a game that reaches all 5 stars, but this is the highest I ever got. That brings to the next game, which is When Ducks Attack. This one was my least liked. Everybody hated it. See? You can see the comments. All you do is spam J. It's just okay, nothing else. Kind of mediocre graphics. People didn't like this game. It was my attempt at making a tower defense. See, I guess the strategy works. You can't see it, but it's supposed to be a bottle you're protecting. So I did not like, I honestly agreed with everybody. It was a terrible game. That's when I came to this one, which I started to get a lot of feedback, and it led me to the second version, and the third one is currently in the works. This is where I stand as a game, as developing my own games. Sorry that you don't really see much of a difference of when I started, but I'm currently working on the next one. So until then, play my latest Cloudmaker version 0.02. This is the longest it's been on. Something has been on hold or watch. But yeah, please play it, please rate it. I'm currently trying to fix it and make it better. Let me know if you want Construct 3 tutorials, and what elements I should add to my wheel. What should I add to my wheel of names? What should I add? It can be anything. Alright, thank you for this video, and goodbye.